Hello and welcome back. I am Damien with Project Omnia, and today I am here to watch and react to episode 3 of the final season of Attack on Titan. I was just here earlier this morning, catching up from last week. Great episode. Mappa is still knocking it out of the park. You're not going to keep everyone happy. There's going to be some things you leave out and stuff like that, and some people aren't going to be too happy with it. But so far, I think they've done a pretty good job. They haven't really been cutting important scenes. They've been small little, character scenes that plenty of manga readers are attached to, right? But other than, oh, hey, here's just another random scene for the purpose of, oh, this is cute, or, whatever, or this is another humanizing thing which we've already done, then they're not necessary any longer because they already have scenes that are more focused on doing stuff like that. So those small little character moments that plenty of people like to see, and it is nice to have them, aren't necessary. So of course those are the ones that are kind of being cut at the moment, which, at least for me, if you're going to cut content, that's the type of content you need to cut, because that's your most filler type of content that you'll get from the manga. Especially with Attack on Titan. I mean, it's rampant. So, it's easy to cut some scenes and it not be that much of an issue. Especially because, anyone that doesn't know, Hajime Isayama has a heavy hand in the production of the Attack on Titan anime. And as far as I am aware, that has not changed coming into this final season. In fact, I know I just saw a post earlier, just like a day or two ago, on one of the Discord servers I'm a part of, where people were talking about that first scene with Falco in the very first episode, talking about basically ODM gear and stuff on the battlefield, that, according to sources, was directly asked by Hajime Isayama to include in the anime. I don't know if that's the case, but if it is, that would not surprise me, is basically what I'm getting to here. But last time we had the fallout from the battle with the Mideast Allied forces. Titan powers are no longer enough. They are going to restart their campaign to not only get the Titans back that Paradise Island currently has, but of course the resource battle, the fossil fuels that they alluded to last season, and they've alluded to this season as well. So there's that going on. There's the Tiber family coming with a festival that's going to happen. It seems Zeke might have some of his own motives. We'll see. Trying to make sure. I don't want to gloss over a lot of things. Oh, Falco does not want Gabby to become the Armored Titan. He wants to become the Armored Titan. It also seems Reiner. We did get a bit of focus on him last episode, and clearly he's still greatly affected by all the things that happened while he was in Paradise, and that has definitely changed his view from what he was taught as a child. But anyways, I have rambled enough. This intro, I don't even know how long it is because I'm not looking at the time, but it's long enough. I'm going to pop this into full screen. Again, turn the volume down a little bit just so I don't have to worry about blowing out my eardrums. Put the headphones in, and we will begin now. Oh, you were abandoned, were you? This is just so fucked up, man. Oh, yeah? Father, huh? So, Reiner seems to be of mixed blood. Look at that. You should never think like that. Flashback, huh? Yep. Damn, look at all them fools. Oh, this is kind of a remix of the theme from the trailer. They're actually covering a lot of stuff that's covered in other scenes right here. So Galliard and Reiner do not seem they got along very well. Porco. Oof. Yeah, and if you guys haven't recognized, that's Marcel. I mean, you've only seen him a few times, only heard his name mentioned a few times. It won't surprise me if you don't remember. And out of all the candidates at this time, Reiner may be the bottom of the barrel. And he's not even paying attention. And he's like, fuck all this shit. What the hell? So you can't, that is, so fucked. I want that door. Oof. Whatever, this place has got fucked up. This is kind of cool, I really like that. Leon Hawk is perfect. I mean, I hope so. Assault weapon. Right. Oh, of course. I like this the Beast Titan there better than the first episode. Outstanding endurance. The Colossal Titan. Oof. God of Destruction. We'll be able to handle it. Tending children, yeah. I mean, they did. Oof. Look how they call him Puck. Right. Oof. Yeah. What you're sorry about. Try to remember that for the end if they don't explain it. This guy's a dickbag. There's the harsh truth of it. Yeah, you are. You're seeking validation and acceptance from people that are never going to give you that. Ooh, wow, they definitely skipped a lot right there. There's a whole, like, mission statement with, like, Magath and them when they get to the docks that you saw at the end of last season. Basically, they're supposed to return to the docks on the full moon. So they're supposed to take that into account when coming here to get the founder back. And here we get this with Marcel. Yeah, exactly. And along with wanting to protect your brother, man. At least based upon the early characterization you're being given. Don't mind that, that was probably Discord. Where Marcel got eaten by Ymir. And Marcel's brother ate Ymir. Pretty crazy, right? Well, Marcel got eaten. Oof. Yeah, I mean, so... Oh, and he's like, I'm done. Damn. And he's like, fuck this, I'm out. Bertolt too. I mean, Reiner, I don't think, isn't necessarily wrong here. You're all devil bloods in their eyes, so failure even from favored devil bloods probably wouldn't net you any security. Yeah. And he knows it. But that's the thing, you are no different. Like, you are definitely just taking your frustrations out on Reiner because he was pointing out what's true. Period. End of story. Right. Bertolt is just like, what the fuck? Oh wow, I didn't show the setup for this either. So, originally the plan was Marcel was kind of going to be their endurance to get them most of the way towards Walmaria. But Annie did most of it. Then Reiner took over once the wall came into view. And then Bertolt transformed once they got there, kicked the wall in. And the Smiling Titan showed up. And they had to save him from her, but there was no saving. She just went right by him. Yeah, I mean, you really don't understand anything, but... What? There was Aaron, Armin, and Mikasa. Ooh. So, this should technically be a retelling for you guys. This, right here, this story, is where Bertolt got his story from. Well, except this part. He didn't have that in there, right? Oh, shit! It's Kenny! Oof. Yeah. Damn, that was an impressive kick. Yeah. Are you sure about that? A lot of your friends. Nice. Yeah, let's call it a day. Mm-hmm. Probably felt shitty for abandoning his children. At least that's what I would think. More of Aaron's inferiority complex from back in the day. Yeah. Keep moving forward. Oh, really? I'm surprised more people didn't catch this in the trailer because it was in there. But yeah. Couldn't do it, could you? Yeah. You've still got purpose, bud. Reiner might have been one of the first ones that, from the Marleyan side, right, that I kind of sympathize with to some degree. Yeah, you didn't talk last episode. Oh, yeah. Lion, huh? Well, fuck that. Oof. Right? Oh, look at you figuring things out quick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not fun to be around. Exactly. This is why you don't glorify war. It might even be another hell. It's crazy. To be continued. What a bunch of bastards. Okay, that was my reaction and review for... Well, that was my reaction for episode 3 of Season 4 of Attack on Titan. We actually covered quite a bit here. Again, really focusing more on the Miley side of things. Mostly with warrior candidates and what they go through. So we got to see Marcel, Porco, who are brothers, Pieck, Annie, Reiner, Bertolt, and Zeke as candidates, right? And Reiner definitely seemed to be lagging behind all of them, but thanks to Marcel and his input, Reiner got chosen over his own brother for the Armor Titan, ensuring, at least in his mind, that his brother would survive, or at least not have to, Ymir's curse and all that. 13 years, and then, oh, you're done. You're just gonna die. And not only are you gonna die, but we as a military can't afford to let your power go to waste. So we're gonna have someone eat you before you actually die. That's great. Um, you got to see how after Marcel got eaten, that Annie and Bertolt wanted to turn back. Reiner was the one that kind of convinced them. Uh, I've heard people argue that Reiner made Annie and Bertolt continue the mission, but that's not really the case. I mean, yes, he came up with all those things that were technically valid points based upon, self preservation. But as Annie points out, in the middle of kicking the shit out of him, for one, Annie is no different. And two, I mean, that's literally everybody. We as a species, the reason we are still here is because of self preservation and that primal, that just existing within us. It's not going to go anywhere. It will continue to be the primary driving force in pretty much every action we take. And is it? I guess the question some people pose is that right or wrong. I just think it's one of those situations of it's one of those it is situations. It's just what reality is. There's no point in really pontificating on is this a good thing or is this a bad thing. It's just a it is thing. That's all it is. Um, we also got to see uh, Reiner's dad. I, I knew there was something I didn't want to gloss over, and that was it. And we got to see more of, again, how there's people who are not Eldians. I mean, Eldians alone, especially Eldians within the internment zones, right? The way they view their own race, it's absolutely insane to me. Um, but it's even, that's the worst of it. The not so worst of it, but more prevalent because there's more humans that aren't Eldians than there are Eldians is how non-Eldians, particularly Marlians, view Eldians. I mean, that hatred is. I mean, that's some next level hatred going on, guys. Um, and then you got a little bit of the parallels of what was going on while Reiner and them were all being trained by the Marlian government, and Aaron and the gang and what they were doing before the attack, right? Oh, and we also got those cool classified, military classified file scenes covering the female beast, armor, jaw, and colossal titans. And that was really cool. That was technically in the manga, but it wasn't, even though, Magath and I can't remember who else was there talking, but, clearly, even though it was a military operation, aesthetically how it was presented in the manga was different. It was just showing what they were doing in the field with the narration of Marlian military members that you got in this episode. But in this episode, you got it as classified Marlian government docs with all that other stuff in addition. So I thought that was a really cool addition that, Mappa didn't have to do. But they did a great job. And then at the end, we had Falco talking to, we saw that guy last episode, right? One of those people that's been traumatized from the war, one of the Eldians, talking to Falco, and he had a quite interesting perspective about, well, for one, people wouldn't go to war if they knew this result, right? If everyone that thought we needed to go to war to solve a problem saw this or had to endure what these people are enduring, they would no longer want it, right? And that how most people that are in war aren't even there for their own wants and desires and their own reasons. They're there due to circumstances or someone else's reasons. And but then there are those people. There are a select number of people that join in conflict, or their pursuit of their own self-interest is so strong that it will lead them to into conflict, even straight into hell with others. And so, I mean, that was really interesting to see. That was where the episode left off. Um, but that is my. Ooh, now, one other thing. I did talk about it during the reaction, but Reiner, this dude, he's going fucking through it. He damn near offed himself there. It wasn't for Falco unintentionally kind of saving his life and making him realize after he looked out the window and saw who it was, that he has a reason to keep going on. Um, you know, Aside from that, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's great from a character writing perspective, right? But obviously, from a human perspective, I'm looking at it, and yeah, I mean, he's a fictional character and all, but I mean, you're still looking at it, and it's like, that's really fucked up, man. I mean, especially like me, I'm someone that suffers from mental illness issues, and I know plenty of other people do as well. You know what it's like to feel like that, right? And you don't want other people feeling that way. You don't want your own self feeling that way. Fuck that shit. It sucks. But, anyways, that is my reaction and review for episode 62 of Attack on Titan. If you want to, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.